Well, obviously you are, as you say, a professional gambler, and you're in a huge profit at the moment. So do you think?
Not bad, is it?
Not at all. Do you think your winnings will be used towards poker and betting?
No, probably not actually. I mean, I'm playing quite big as it is. I don't do so much sports as I used to. I mean, like just to give you an example of how it is at the moment. Like 4 years ago, on a Saturday afternoon, I'd probably have potentially at risk 200,000 during the course of a Saturday afternoon on football and horses and maybe some rugby and various sports. It's pretty unlikely I was going to lose the whole 200,000. I might have 100 bets going at the time, and a lot of them were 50-50 things. But it was possible. It was quite easy to have a -15 or a -20 of an afternoon. These days I don't really do anything like that. I mean, I think recently I had about 30 grand in play on a Saturday, and I think I had a bad day and I lost 18. And that was a really bad day. That was like the first one like that for like 6 months. So it's a lot smaller now. I'm not so. I'm interested in it still. A lot of the things I used to do, people have latched onto now. I was a bit of a forerunner of quite a lot of things in internet betting that people didn't know about. Sorry, I'm not going to answer it. And now, I just kind of. The thing about gambling, it evolves all the time, and people, it's the same as poker. Like Harrington writes his books, he talks about the squeeze play. Suddenly everyone's doing the squeeze play. Now you have to think of ways to counter that. And it's the same in sports gambling. There's lots of things that I used to do that just religiously worked every week. And then, with Betfair, it's a free market. People are putting up prices, and once a pattern develops, people will pick up on the pattern, and it won't work anymore, and you have to find a new pattern. And it's not the best use of my time at the moment. Poker has suddenly become mental, and I've really worked hard at developing the game in the Vic, in that encouraging the Vic to hold bigger games and attract the bigger punters, and then just working hard to keep them. I mean, I do actually work quite hard at that side of the game. I mean, I have a list of 50 people that I regularly text to say, there's a good game tonight, these people are coming, you should make an effort to turn up. And it just makes sure that if I want to be there, I know that there'll be a good game there. And people like to play me. It's not like I'm not a nit. I mean, I'm in action. I sit down at the table with 30 or 50 grand or something, and people know that they can get it. It's available. I'm going to play pots. I'm not going to sit there and wait for aces. I play 4 hands around, and if you want to come and challenge me and have a go, I'm there most days. It's not that difficult. I don't know, and we have fun with it. It's great. Like Mark Goodwin was saying to me recently, he said, "I really love you. You're a proper gambler." He said, "You sit down with an enormous amount of money and you put your bollocks on the line every day, and you can't be on top form every day. There are some days where you just don't really feel good, or you've got a headache or whatever, or you've had a row with somebody, or whatever it is. But I still sit there. I sit there for 10 hours a day. Most days, I mean, it's like 300 days a year, maybe 250, 300 days a year. And I still sit there with all the money, and you can come and get it. And, there's not that many people that take up the challenge, really. People say, I hear all these people are winning fortunes on the internet, and you go to these tournaments, people say, "Oh, he's a great player, what a great player." I've never seen him in the game. If he's so great, I don't know. I don't understand how all these great players don't really play that much, I mean, I'm a poker player, I want to play. I put the hours in. You have to put the hours in. I mean, I have quite a big edge in the game, but I can't just go and play 2 hours a day and make a decent living. I haven't got that bigger edge. I don't think anyone has.
So what next? Are you going to carry on going into the big cash game?
Well, I mean, like you say, am I going to play bigger? What am I going to do with the money? So I forgot what the question was before. That was it. That was what you asked me, didn't you? I guess I'll just. I mean, it's the biggest game in Europe at the moment. There isn't a bigger game. Maybe one game in Russia, but this is a day-to-day, every day this game is on. It's the biggest game. Recently, before the win, I've taken to sitting there, generally sit down with 25 grand. If there's a couple of big players in, or if one or two of the bigger players are maybe steaming and the game's playing a bit more lively, I might sit down with 40 or 50 grand. That's more than enough. Most people are sitting with 6 to 10,000. There's no point me sitting there with 100 grand. It's not going to change the game. They're not all going to suddenly pull out their massive wad of cash. I put it there as a challenge to them so that they might do, and I would never want anyone to come in and look at it and go, oh, it's a bit small, I don't think I'll bother. So I put the money out there so that they want to come. And recently people have started coming. Some people that we don't necessarily want. Donnachie O'Day, who's obviously a legendary cash player, he's taken to turning up occasionally now. He's heard there's big money on the table and a chance to win it. Ben Roberts has now become a regular in the game. He's one of the, I think he's one of the best players in the world. He's a fantastic player. We don't particularly want him to come. Roland has taken to popping his head round the door, and if it's a small game he's not that interested, but once he sees there's 20 grand here and 50 grand here and 30 grand here, he gets excited and he wants to play. And that's what it's there for. It's there it's like an advertisement thing. In terms of playing more tournaments and stuff and going around the world and that kind of thing, I don't know, I've done it all before. In 2005 I lived in the Bellagio for 17 weeks of the year. It's really nice, but it wasn't like 17 weeks on the spin. I would go, I would check out, come home a couple of weeks, go back again. And it was really bad from the point of view of carbon footprint. And the woman, I remember one day I checked into Bellagio, the woman said, oh yeah, I've seen you before, yeah, you're in all the time, aren't you? I was like, this hotel has got like 4,000 rooms, it's got thousands of people working here. It's a bad thing when the woman on reception remembers you from 2 weeks before and asks a personal question about something that you were talking about 2 weeks before. This is you're spending too much time here, it's like the Vic.